Hustle culture is a bunch of BS. I say this because I was a huge believer in this cult as a high schooler, a college student, and when I was working in the highly competitive field of being a Hollywood creative. This resulted in me having fainting spells. I was gagging uncontrollably and throwing up due to stress. I was developing carpal tunnel, gaining a lot of weight. I had a huge lack of motivation to do anything, including getting out of bed, showering, and taking care of myself physically, like brushing my hair and stuff like that. On the outside, it looked like I got everything I ever wanted by the young age of 27. Yet, I was completely miserable and probably causing myself to shorten my lifespan by several years. Around that time, I would say I was hitting my version of rock bottom and experiencing a lot of existential dread and lack of purpose. I knew I had to make some really big life changes before it was too late. So I quit my job, I made a huge career change, cut off a lot of toxic people in my life, and I stepped away from hustle culture. I didn't know exactly what I needed to change in my life, but I did know that I didn't want to live for work anymore. So in the past few years, I started incorporating aspects of slow living into my life. And I'm finally at the point where I feel like I've created the perfect daily routine that balances my need to work in order to feel fulfilled and accomplished, but also allows me to make room for the rest I need in order to feel like I'm actually enjoying life and I don't want to die. The first step for me is to wake up early and to have a really good morning routine. I don't know if you are an introvert like me, but I hate people, especially in the mornings. If anybody even tries to talk to me in the morning, I am going to have a really, really bad day. So I like to wake up super early in the morning so that no one else is awake to bother me. A really big reason why I try to wake up at 5 a.m. is not actually to be productive. It's to feel like I'm not being rushed to finish everything. I tend to get a lot of anxiety when I have to wake up and then just go, go, go. Get my makeup done, get my hair done, get to work, do all the things within an hour. Instead, I like to take my time and take time for myself, to make tea, to drink water, to go at my own pace. It allows me to journal and schedule out my day. It gives me room to think and to hear my own thoughts rather than everyone else's thoughts and everything that I have to get done. And I get to be a little bit selfish and just do things that make me happy, including exercise. Exercise is a non-negotiable for me now. I have to do it every single day that is not a rest day because it really helps decrease my anxiety, depression, and makes me feel good. I've noticed when I don't do it, I'm a little bit pissy. I'm more prone to having arguments with Vincent. I'm more prone to being short with people. It's just not a great time for everyone, including myself. It's not like I like being that way. Every time I skip exercising, I feel myself slipping back into that depressed state of mind. Some people need drugs. Some people need fast food. I need exercise. By around 9-10 a.m., I shower and get dressed. I tend not to do this if I don't exercise, which again is why exercise is so important for me. Especially when so many people are working from home now, it's really easy to stay in your pajamas all day long. That's really not good because as human beings, we're really good at forming habits and associating certain objects in your life with certain actions. So your pajamas tend to signal to your brain that you're gonna go to sleep. So if you stay in your pajamas all day long, you're going to end up feeling a little bit more sluggish than normal. I think I've trained my brain after years of living in a society, going to school, going to work, that my outside clothes means I am awake, I am happy, I'm being productive, and I'm going to get a lot of work done. And usually a really big sign of depression is when you start letting yourself go a little bit. You stop dressing up even for yourself. So for me, my day hasn't really started until I get dressed. By 10 to 12 p.m. is my first block of work. And it's 10 o'clock and I'm going to work a little bit at a coffee shop, so maybe for 2 or 3 hours. I'm excited to do the normal human thing and interact with human beings.
I'm not going to talk to anybody.
Oh,
being in society.
Yes, let's be in society. Don't you feel like you feel kind of nice being around people again? Even though we don't talk to them. Because I don't want you to talk to me. Don't talk to me. But I like being in the vicinity of other humans. Okay. I tend to be a really organized person, so I like to categorize certain tasks into organizational busy work and creative work. And I used to try to get a lot of the organizational work done first thing in the morning. What ended up happening is I would have no energy by the end of the day to commit to any kind of creative work, and I would end up feeling really unaccomplished and unhappy even though I technically got a lot of work done. So in the mornings when I have the most energy, I do the things that require the most creativity. And you'd be surprised, this is only 2 hours of work, but I get a lot done. done. Typically, I film a whole ass video by lunchtime. 12 to 1 is when I have lunch, and this is my first meal of the day. I am intermittent fasting to control my hypoglycemia. It keeps me from fainting, and it helps regulate my weight as well. As much as I love eating and I love food, I tend to overeat because I like to eat my feelings, which meant when I wasn't in a good place, I would cover up all my stress and anxiety with food. So instead of doing that, I like to save the time and use it towards more productive, meaningful stuff like spending time with other people or productive work.
Ooh, my food is smelly today. Smelly. Like Jan's armpits.
It also helps me enjoy my meals a lot more because I have fewer of them. I tend to feel really sluggish after lunch, and I would punish myself by just getting straight back to work. Instead, now I slow down and go on a walk. It helps wake me up. It gives me so much energy so that when I come back from my walk, I am reset and ready to work. I used to think taking breaks like this was a huge time waster, so I would just grit my teeth and push through it, which actually would cause me to be unproductive because it's not like that 30 minutes would be productive work anyways. In a weird way, scheduling in more breaks allowed me to be more productive. From 1:30 to 3 is my next block of work. It still tends to be creative work because I still have a lot of energy to devote to creative work, but this time it tends to be outside. Ever since I got a laptop and I'm not tethered to my desk anymore, I don't like to work indoors. I hate working inside. It reminds me of being in a cubicle. It makes me very, very depressed. I want to get some vitamin D. It just makes me happier. After doing a lot of research, turns out vitamin D helps improve your mood, decrease depression, helps fight diseases, and even helps you lose weight. I'm lucky to be able to have this lifestyle of being able to work remotely and to work from anywhere because the cubicle lifestyle seems really impractical to me. I don't think human beings are meant to be indoors for the modern 9-to-5 lifestyle. Our ancestors worked in fields and gathered food most of the day. Evolutionarily, I don't think it makes sense for us to be holed up in dark cubicles all day long, which is why at 3 o'clock I take another 30-minute break. I am going to learn how to garden. I'm waiting for my stuff to upload. So in the meantime, I'm going to learn how to do this. That's usually when I feel a little bit lethargic for working for so long anyways, so it's another way to reset my mind, get a little bit more energy so that I can get through the day in a happy, healthy, and stress-free way. From 3:30 to 5, I have my third work block. By this time, I'm pretty drained and I can't really do creative work anymore, so I dedicate my time towards organizational work. So I just finished filming and vlogging. I'm pretty much done with the creative aspect of the day and I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to do organizational tasks, which is basically to upload all my footage, get all the proxies ready so that it's really easy to be done with editing really, really fast. I'm going to write down all the footage that I still need to get probably for tomorrow and the day after. From 5 to 6, I cook dinner, and then me and Vincent tend to watch something or we eat outside and spend some time together. 6 to 8 is basically all free time. I like to dedicate whatever extra time to hobbies and any kind of social interaction. Things like playing and recording music. I have to force myself to relax really, really hard during this time because when I do it really well, I feel like I'm alive for once. I don't really feel that much joy or happiness from work because work is work no matter what it is that I choose to do. It is sometimes really fulfilling for me, but it's these moments with other people, these are the times that I really, really cherish. It's basically what I gave up in order to achieve as much as I did very, very young. When I spent every moment of my life working, I would ask myself, what's the purpose when I know I'm just going to die one day never having actually lived? Having this time really helps keep those existential thoughts at bay and allows me to feel like I had a really, really great day. 8 to 9 p.m. is my wind down period where I just get ready for the next day and get ready for bed. It kind of helps me fall asleep because I don't feel like I have to rush to completely fall asleep. I have a whole hour of getting myself in the headspace of falling asleep, so by the time my head hits the pillow, I completely knock out immediately. I don't follow this routine exactly every single day, that's just impossible. But when I do, I get a lot done and I feel really good about myself at the same time. Sometimes we tend to focus a little bit too much on the idea of working hard, and we forget it's equally important how we feel about all this time spent working. This daily routine helped me break the cycle of burning out constantly while still being pretty productive. In fact, I feel like I'm more productive now than I was when I was working so much. I think it is possible to do both. If you struggle with how to properly create your own daily routine, then you need to learn how to manage your time by checking out this video next.